Hello friends, praise God for another beautiful day. So today I'm going to be setting up my microgreens racks and hopefully starting some seeds. So we'll see how far everything gets, but for now I'm going to set the racks up and we will go from there. So I bought these racks and they showed up a couple days ago, but hadn't gotten around to putting them together. Figured I needed growing medium to take the time and effort to put these together. So it looks like this will be the easiest way. And I'll probably speed this up on your end. But I can explain the crucial parts of it, hopefully. I've been practicing putting together IKEA furniture, so hopefully that warmed me up for this. So I'll get the directions out. So it looks fairly easy. You just align the poles. Of course, everything has to have a zip tie on it, and that might be the one thing I'm missing for the lights. I don't know if the lights came with zip ties. I doubt it, but maybe. So we got the wheels in here. Got something in here. I don't know if this is just for packaging or what. Oh, we're just gonna start taking the racks out. And these racks come recommended by another microgreen grower. His YouTube channel is Donnie Greens. Alright. Now we have the poles. Only half of the poles are zip tied. Kind of strange. I feel like I'm getting diminishing returns on pulling these racks out. Especially when the box just falls down like that. And it's always nice to put things together on cardboard so you don't scuff up your floor. Unless you have carpet, maybe. That's my finger. Alright, so I think the first order of business is putting together these poles. It looks like they just have threads for the center. So I'm assuming we've got one on one side without threads, one on the other side with threads. They probably go together. Well, let's put these together. Alright, now all four of these are assembled. Might have to raise the camera up a little bit. So the next step is to install the wheels, since I want to be able to move these guys around. the directions were very adamant that you use the tool to fully screw these in. So once I find it, I will use it. I don't know where it is yet. The wheels are a little greasy. Alright, so trying to find a tape measure turned into a lunch break, but now I have some food in my stomach, so that's nice. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 shelves on the rack. And then we have about 75 inches. So I'm gonna put the bottom rack on. That is gonna take up about an inch. So we're losing 6 inches. This is, all right, maybe I'm gonna rearrange this. Alright, with the magic of adjusting your camera, it looks a lot better now. But anyways, my break trying to find my tape measure turned into lunch. So now I have some food in me, feels good. But let's measure out these things, see how far we got. Tip to stern, about 75 inches, 78 to the very bottom, so we can call it 72, I guess. Divide by 6, don't mind me, just gonna take, that's 12 if my math is correct, 12 inches, and per, or subtracting 1 inch per shelf, because the shelf's approximately an inch. So we've got a space of about 11 inches per. Now we'll add the bottom pieces, being careful not to touch the greasy wheels. So the packaging has the little spacers. So these are for here. So these are the little spacers that go on the racks. It's kind of an awkward camera angle. Scoot back more. Alright. So every 11 inches we're going to put one of these. Not including the bottom. The bottom will go at the bottom. So I think they just clip together. Not rocket science. They're right at the bottom. Right at the bottom line. So I'm hoping that I measure these correctly the first time so I don't have to adjust them ever again. If you've heard the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, assemble once. Maybe that applies. And I think how this works is the pole basically cinches down, and the pressure just doesn't allow the shelves to go any further down, which is kind of nice. And I was planning on putting all of these on at once, but now that I'm realizing it, the shelf is going to get stuck at the first one. So you have to put it together, and then you clip those on as you go. So I'm glad I thought that through in my head. But now let's put the shelf on. Okay, so there's a reason why there's little dimples all throughout the poles. There's a little, can you guys just barely see it, indent? There. There's just a tiny little ridge that you have to line everything up with. So now I have to make sure I lined it up correctly on the first one, so that all the rest of them hopefully go as well. Alright, so if you have a second person to help you lift it, it's not heavy, but there's just a lot of torque on these poles, so I recommend getting someone to help you if you can. So now you just want to push them down till they're snug. Alright, we've got 4 poles. Let's measure 11 inches, go from here. Alright, 11 inches is this one. Should have opened the bag first. Alright, one more time. 11 inches. This to here. This is the top. That's unreasonable. So I want the bottom to be at 11 inches, so it actually is closer to 12, the 12-inch mark. Glad I checked that. Alright, this should be a little easier. Just have to get it up high enough. Again, this is probably a lot better to do with two people. But let me switch the camera. Alright, shelf number 2. And there is like a, I don't know, taper. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a taper on the shelves. You want the larger part of the taper to be down. Well, as you can see, my math is bad, and I should feel bad. But it's together, so we're just gonna figure out what I did wrong. And I got 2 of these to put together right now. There's gonna be plenty in the future, so at least I'm learning how to troubleshoot it before trying to put 1,000 of them together. Alright, so we have an extra, maybe I should have divided by 5. Since the last one is up top. 20. We have an extra 20 inches. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get an extra 5 inches each. Is that right? Math time. Alright. Do we have 64 inches between here and the bottom? That is what we need to find out. No, we do not. We have 72 inches. We have 72 inches. 68 inches divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. That 17 inches. Is it 17 inches? Is that right? Seems like a lot. That. Well, let's try it. 17 inches. I think it's 16 inches. My battery's dying. Goodbye, chat. Goodbye. That's why it's always good to have a second battery. Alright, so I think I figured it out. 16 inches between each level, because we want even inches throughout. So I think I figured it out. I didn't do it the easy way, but at least I figured it out. Alright. Back to moving shelves. 16 inches per guy. My math is not on par today. All right, 14 and 11/30 seconds is about as close as it's gonna get. I think that's right. We'll find out. But it should work. I don't know exactly why it's not working. Maybe I'm just measuring a little bit wrong. I don't know how much of that was on camera or not, but I finally figured out, I think, most of the issues. So for a while my math was wrong. I was dividing by 4 instead of 5. There's 5 spaces. So it turns out it's about 14 inches gap between each rack. But then my execution was wrong because I was neglecting to compensate for this 1 inch of shelf. So it should be, I should be measuring to the bottom of 13 or to the top of 14. And each of these little spacers is about 1 inch apart. So you could just count and divide, or you could like make a string and mark it, but I decided to try to do it the easy way and instead took forever. But I won't ever have to do the math on it again because I have a shelf. This is my potential, what's it called? Prototype. So never have to do it again from scratch, which is nice. So the next shelf should be a lot faster. We'll time it maybe, and I'll just show it in real fast speed. But I think I'm gonna take a break from building shelves and maybe move outside and start some microgreens. First, I'll probably have to soak some sunflower seeds, but once I do that, we'll be able to plant some of the other stuff. Alright, so I've got my dirt in the tray. I'm going to use another tray to lightly tamp it down. Hopefully that gives everything nice even layering. Just do that for both sides. Now I've got my broccoli seeds and my radish seeds. I'm going to soak some sunflower seeds for like 4 hours, but not right now because I'd like to go to bed before midnight. So I've got 13 grams of broccoli seeds. We're going to try 13 grams, see what that does. Try to spread them out evenly. Never mind. That's not going to help. Just try to leave it. 28 grams of radish seeds. Sure, my technique will get better over time. I don't know. It looks kind of pockety right now, but it'll do. So I don't really have my little nozzle, but I do have a hose, so I'm gonna go use the hose. Alright, now I'm gonna just soak the trays. Not the best way to do this, but it's for the first try, so I'd rather just get it done today. Get everything decently wet. And then I'm gonna throw them on the rack and see what happens.